For Off the Shelf this morning, we delve into the harsh realities of racism through the experiences recollected in Habiba Diallo's Black in School. She joins us now to share her story. Good morning, Habiba. Welcome to Smile Jamaica.
Good morning. How are you?
I am excellent. Thank you so much for asking. So tell me, first of all, what inspired this work, Black in School?
So the work was inspired by some of the experiences I had while going through Canadian high school, the Canadian high school system. And a lot of the day-to-day experiences Black students encounter, that I encountered as a Black student. So some of the day-to-day experiences with racism, and then the overall broader racism that we face through the curriculum, through the school culture. And then I speak about society more widely as well. So I just thought to put my feelings, my thoughts, my recollections on paper in an attempt to encourage and inspire other Black students.
Yeah, racism is so multi-layered, and that's one of the things I got from reading the book. And let's talk about those layers, because one of the things when I said Black in School, of course, being a woman of color and attending school, what are some of the things that you would face every day?
You know, for example, one morning I was walking into school and I heard two young white boys, they were saying the worst countries to live in are Uganda, Congo, and Sudan. If you walk into one of those places, you'll just die. You know, so it's things like that.
Right.
It's presentations, it's assemblies. Whenever they talk about Africa or Blackness in any way, it was always negative. We were always portrayed in a negative light. And then the positive portrayals came in Black History Month.
Okay, yeah.
You know, only in Black History Month. So of course we were happy for that. We're grateful for that because the month is important, but it's there's an imbalance, you know, it's unbalanced because you can't just show us in a positive light in Black History Month and then all throughout the year it's negative.
And part of that negativity is also entrenched in the curriculum, in the books that we read, in the images that are used in the classrooms every day. So that's another thing when we say Black in School. It's not just what we're hearing and what people are saying, but it's also what we're learning.
Yes, of course. It's also what we're learning because what I always say is that when the educational system was set up in Canada, so I'm speaking specifically in Canada, but I know Jamaican people can relate because I've heard from Jamaican people as well, is that it wasn't designed for Black people. It wasn't designed for Black and for other ethnicities. So therefore, we were not included in the curriculum because we were meant to be workers, you know, not to be academics, not to study and so forth. So now, today, fast forward a couple hundred years later, you have so many Black youth studying, becoming academics, so forth. However, the curriculum and the textbooks have remained the same since 150, 200 years ago. So,
yeah, and that's a challenge. What are you hoping will happen from a publication such as this, Habiba? Of course, it's opening the eyes of people of color who may be experiencing it and need someone to express what they're going through. But are you hoping also that the people who are responsible for creating the systems that reinforce racism in schools will also get their eyes open to what it is that's happening?
Most definitely. My book is intended for students, but it's also intended for educators in the wider society. And I've spoken extensively with many educators, and others have invited me to give presentations to their staff and to their students. And I wanted to open their eyes. And I know it's begun, especially with all the wider movements happening around us globally. It's definitely begun. It needs to happen more. It needs to happen faster because there's so much at stake. You know, the lives of these students and their success, their academic achievement is at stake.
Yes.
So we want it to happen faster. So that is what I hope for my publication, and that ultimately it will create a more equitable society for everyone.
It's an important work, and I'm glad that you took the time to craft it. For persons who are interested, they can go to your website?
Yes, my website, first name and then last name diallo.com.
Excellent. Please go check it out. We are people of color, and even though Habiba places it within the migratory experience of Canada, it happens almost everywhere in the world, and it's important for us to become more aware so that we may address it. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you
Habiba.
so much. It was a pleasure joining you this morning.
Habiba Cooper Diallo, author of Black in School. That's Off the Shelf.